Welcome to Sagar's Reveries. I'm Sushma Sagar. All content on this channel is drawn from my original work. If you are inclined to pause and to reflect on our shared human experience, come walk with me. The journey begins here.
Sri Krishna's plans for renewal.
Many of us begin life with a sincere desire to be the best of humans, pure in thought, word, and deed. Listen to this story. Mahesh was an idealist, imbued with moral sensibilities, a somewhat withdrawn youngster with little interest in typical teenage pastimes, but he did have a sharp intellect, especially for mathematics. In time, he built his own company, married, and had children. All pretty usual, a familiar template. But as the decades rolled by, the pressures of family and business responsibilities began eroding his ethical foundations. Bit by bit, a small concession here, a dishonest response there, the insidious pattern that quietly drives us toward degeneration. By his 60s, integrity had taken a nosedive, and he was more worldly than pure. A decade later, he began to turn toward spirituality. Then the thought gnawed at him, have I blown my chances of redemption? Let us pause here. Does God forgive us at any point in our fall? Yes, He does. Does He overlook all mistakes in one sweep? Not really. The karmic law is strict. We must endure the consequences of our actions at all times. Here's the good news. God has a rescue plan at 3 levels. 1. He himself takes charge. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 7. Quote, whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in unrighteousness, O Arjun, at that time I manifest myself on earth. Unquote. 2. Through rebirth. Chapter 2, verse 22. Quote, as a person casts off worn out garments and puts on new ones, so the soul casts off the old body and enters a new one. Unquote. And 3. Through our own awakening. Chapter 2, verse 52. Quote, when your understanding crosses over the mire of delusion, you shall become indifferent to what has been heard. Unquote. The Lord is referring to enjoyment in this world. The choice is ours.
A poem. Abruptly the light receded.
Abruptly the light receded. The stars gathered up their sparks and vanished. And the universe that had been whispering courage in my ear stepped back to view me from its distant infinity. The bird calls were silenced, the landscape darkened and stilled, and hope that had taken infant steps into my heart froze midway. It retracted. I was left to watch the slow unveiling of my existence with all its trivial fears and anxieties.
Here's another poem. The April Fall.
When the April fall began to gild the sidewalk with ambered leaves soughing down from above, the trees stood bare, their boughs like scimitars guarding a secret trove. It was then my heart refreshed I waited for the emerald buds to re-adorn the grove. New leaves were soon aflutter, and robin, crow, and sparrow for supremacy upon the branches strove. O life inexhaustible, you are a mystery, yet visible and worthy of my adoration and my love.
Around holy time.
Around the time of the festival of Holi, when the weather turns warm and gusty in North India, many of us feel low and disenchanted. The cheer of the New Year festivity departs, leaving a quiet sobriety in the air. The sparrows, that all through winter flocked and twittered around the rice bowl placed on the landing of the open staircase, are noticeably absent. The street I live on wears a deserted look by midday because the sun is burning with greater intensity. And at night, the cat in the neighborhood has taken to yowling mournfully. As for me, when I read about this Iran US conflict, I find myself thinking perhaps the birds and animals are also aware that our world is slipping into greater turmoil. The platitudinous local philosopher, however, continues to declare these are mere cycles of life. They come and go. Yeah, yet one feels that the zing is missing. The exhilaration of the first few weeks of the new year is waning. Within, the heart waits for answers that never seem to arrive. The philosopher again. God has his reasons for the delay. He certainly must have.